They never warned us that the habits we once believed made us strong might now be quietly draining us. Productivity, perfection, always putting others first. These are values many women over 60 have lived by for decades. But what if I told you those very habits could be making life heavier, not lighter? As we grow older, many of us begin to feel overwhelmed, not because of age, but because of the silent pressure to keep doing, keep fixing, and keep proving that we're still capable. We were raised to be caretakers, multitaskers, and givers. But where in all that giving did we leave room for ourselves? In today's video, we are not just talking about organizing your home. We are talking about unlearning 10 toxic habits. Habits that might be cluttering your time, your space, your peace of mind. And more importantly, we are going to explore how the wisdom of Japanese minimalism offers a path forward. One that is softer, slower, and surprisingly more powerful. If you have ever felt tired of constantly doing, if you have looked around your home and wondered, why does this no longer feel like me? Then this conversation is for you. Let's begin this journey, not by adding more, but by letting go of what no longer serves the woman you are today. This is your time to reclaim peace, purpose, and presence. Habit 1. Chasing perfection. Let's begin with one of the most exhausting habits many of us carry, the constant need to be perfect. Whether it was the perfectly clean house, the perfect meal, or always saying the right thing, we've spent decades trying to meet impossible standards. And for what? More often than not, it left us feeling anxious, tired, and never quite enough. This toxic habit keeps us stuck in guilt, procrastination, and self-judgment. But there's a different path, one rooted in the Japanese principle of Kaizen, which means continuous, gentle improvement. Kaizen doesn't demand big changes or perfect results. It invites you to begin, slowly, softly. 5 minutes to clear a drawer. One small act of self-care. Progress without pressure. When we let go of chasing perfection, we create space for growth, for grace, for peace. Now let's move into the second toxic habit, one that doesn't live in your home, but in your heart. Habit 2. Holding on to emotional baggage. This habit doesn't show up on your shelves or in your calendar. It lives inside you. It's the quiet weight of memories, regrets, guilt, and unresolved emotions we've been carrying for years. Maybe it's the box of old birthday cards you can't bear to throw away. Maybe it's the feeling that if you let go of a loved one's things, you're letting go of them too. Or maybe it's the resentment, the hurt, or the what-ifs that still echo quietly in your heart. Emotional clutter is just as heavy as physical clutter, sometimes heavier, and it can cloud your mind, tighten your chest, and make it hard to feel truly at peace. Japanese minimalism reminds us of the power of letting go, not with force, but with care. There's a beautiful practice called kintsugi, the art of mending broken pottery with gold. It teaches us that things, and people, don't have to be perfect to be beautiful, and that includes the parts of us that have been cracked by life. Letting go isn't forgetting, it's honoring what was, and gently choosing to live fully in what is. Try this. Choose just one thing, an item, a memory, a story, that no longer brings you peace. Thank it, bless it, and let it go. You may be surprised how much lighter you feel, not just in your home, but in your heart. Now let's move to something much more modern, but just as overwhelming. Habit 3. Drowning in digital distractions. Our phones, our inboxes, our news feeds, they were meant to keep us connected. But for many of us, they've become something else entirely. A non-stop stream of noise we never really asked for. Maybe your day starts with a flood of notifications. Maybe you check your email 5 times before lunch. Maybe you scroll through the news, even though it only leaves you feeling anxious. That's not connection. That's overwhelm. This digital clutter is sneaky. It doesn't pile up on your kitchen counter, but it fills your mind just the same. It steals your focus, interrupts your peace, and makes it harder to enjoy the simple moments of your day. In Japanese culture, there's a quiet wisdom called mono no aware, the awareness of the beauty in fleeting, present moments. To experience that beauty, we need space, stillness, presence. You don't need to throw away your phone, you just need to take back control. Try this. Create a no-phone hour in your day, maybe right after you wake up, or just before bed. Turn off non-essential notifications. Choose one moment, maybe a walk or a cup of tea, to enjoy completely unplugged. You'll be amazed at what returns when you finally stop the noise. Your calm, your focus, your sense of self. And now, let's move from digital distractions to something you can see, touch, and maybe even trip over. Habit 4. Cluttering your home and your mind. We often think of clutter as just stuff, extra clothes, old papers, forgotten kitchen gadgets. But clutter is more than that. It's a reflection of our decisions, our memories, and sometimes our fears. For many women, especially after 60, the home becomes a storage place for a lifetime of just in case. I might need that. Or it belonged to someone I loved. We hold on because we care. But over time, that caring turns into weight. Not just in our closets, but in our minds. The toxic habit here is not having too many things. It's refusing to question them. Letting piles grow because it feels too overwhelming to face what they represent. In Japanese minimalism, there's a practice called shibui. It values simplicity, quiet beauty, and things that truly serve a purpose. The idea isn't to live with nothing, but to live with what matters. Try this. Choose one small space, a drawer, a shelf, a windowsill. Take everything out. Hold each item and ask, does this still serve me? Does it still bring joy or peace? If not, it's okay to thank it and let it go. Every object you release is a little bit of peace you gain back. And soon, your space and your spirit will begin to feel lighter. Up next, let's look at another kind of clutter, the kind that fills your calendar and drains your energy. Habit 5. Saying yes when you mean no. This one might sound familiar. How many times have you agreed to something out of guilt or fear of disappointing someone? Whether it's volunteering for another event, saying yes to a lunch you're not excited about, or agreeing to help when you're already tired, the habit of overcommitting can slowly chip away at your energy, your time, and your peace. It's easy to confuse being kind with being available all the time, but kindness doesn't mean self-sacrifice, and it's not selfish to protect your time. It's wise. In Japanese culture, there's a beautiful concept called ikigai, your reason for being. It's about living in alignment with what truly matters to you, and saying yes to everything often pulls you away from that. Try this. Take a look at your calendar this week. Ask yourself, which of these commitments truly serve me? Which feel draining? If it's not a clear yes, maybe it's a kind, gentle no. Saying no is not closing a door. It's opening space for rest, for reflection, for the things that truly matter to you now. Coming up next, let's talk about money and the silent habits that may be keeping your finances more complicated than they need to be. Habit 6. Overspending on things that don't truly matter. Many of us have been taught that a good life means having nice things. The newest kitchen gadget, another set of holiday decorations, or that pair of shoes on sale. After decades of managing households, raising children, and caring for others, buying something for yourself can feel like a reward, even a comfort. But over time, this small habit of spending just a little here and there becomes something heavier: financial stress, clutter, and regret. We often spend not because we need more, but because we're trying to fill something inside: loneliness, restlessness, a moment of boredom. Retail therapy might feel good in the moment, but the satisfaction fades quickly, while the clutter and the credit card bill stays. Japanese minimalism invites us to step back and ask deeper questions. Does this item truly add value to my life? Will I still want or need it in a week, in a month, in a year? Am I buying this to solve a problem or to avoid facing one? There's also a beautiful principle in Japan called wabi-sabi, which encourages us to embrace the beauty of simplicity and imperfection. It reminds us that we don't need more to feel fulfilled. We just need to appreciate what we already have. Try this. For the next week, every time you feel the urge to buy something, pause and write it down instead. Wait 72 hours before making the purchase. Often, you'll find the desire fades, and you've saved money, time, and space in the process. And if you want a more powerful shift, take a look around your home. What items do you truly love? Which ones actually bring you joy or comfort? Those are worth keeping. The rest? You can bless them, release them, and choose not to replace them with more. By spending with intention instead of impulse, you give yourself the freedom to invest in what truly matters: your peace, your well-being, and your future. Now that we've lightened your spending, let's talk about something even more valuable: your time. Habit 7. Wasting your time on what doesn't matter. Time is our most precious resource, and yet, many of us give it away far too easily to obligations we didn't choose, routines that no longer serve us, or distractions that leave us feeling tired instead of fulfilled. This toxic habit is sneaky. You say yes to a quick favor, and suddenly your whole afternoon is gone. You sit down to check one email, and an hour disappears into scrolling. You promise yourself you'll take a break, but only after finishing one more task, one more call, one more load of laundry. Before long, your day feels like it's not even yours anymore. This constant overextension isn't just tiring, it's disempowering. It sends a quiet message to yourself: my time doesn't matter. But it does. Your time is valuable, and it's yours to protect. In Japanese culture, there's a beautiful phrase, ichigo ichie. It means one time, one meeting. It reminds us that every moment is unique and unrepeatable. When you give your time to something, it should be something that brings meaning, joy, or peace. Ask yourself, where is your time going? Which parts of your day feel rushed, distracted, or draining? Which parts feel nourishing? You may be surprised at how often you're spending time on things you never really chose. Here's one practice to try: time blocking. It means setting aside small, specific chunks of your day, not just for chores or errands, but for quiet, intentional time. A walk outside, a cup of tea, reading something that inspires you, or simply doing nothing at all. That time is not wasted. It's sacred. Another practice is to build in white space, time that isn't planned, filled, or scheduled. This is where creativity returns, where rest happens, and where life slows down enough to be felt. You don't need to do more. You need to do less, with greater care. And as you begin reclaiming your time, you'll notice something else shifts too: your energy, your mood, and your sense of self. Coming up next, let's talk about your daily routines and how they might be quietly overwhelming you. Habit 8. Overcomplicating your daily routines. Your day doesn't have to feel rushed or heavy, but for many of us, daily routines have slowly become overloaded with tasks, distractions, and expectations, many of which we didn't even choose. You wake up, check your phone, rush through breakfast, clean up, answer a message, remember you forgot to defrost something for dinner, fold some laundry, get back to your phone, and before you know it, the day is gone. Sound familiar? We often confuse being busy with being productive, but busyness is not the same as purpose. And when your days are filled with multitasking, noise, and constant motion, they can leave you feeling disconnected from yourself and your own needs. Japanese minimalism offers a gentle, beautiful alternative: simplicity with intention. In Japan, daily routines are treated as rituals, quiet, present moments that nourish both body and spirit. It could be as simple as brewing tea with care, walking in silence, or preparing a meal with mindfulness. The difference is not in what you do, but in how you do it. One idea to try is monotasking, the opposite of multitasking. Focus on one thing at a time. When you wash dishes, just wash dishes. When you fold clothes, just fold clothes. It might feel strange at first, but soon you'll notice something powerful. Your mind begins to quiet, your breath slows, and life feels calmer. You can also simplify your routines by removing what's unnecessary. Do you really need 10 steps in your morning? Can one of your cleaning sessions become weekly instead of daily? What's one thing you do every day that no longer feels helpful? Another small shift: pause before starting your day. Just 2 or 3 minutes of silence. No phone, no tasks, just sitting with yourself. It might be the most important part of your morning. Simple doesn't mean boring. It means you have room to feel, to breathe, to notice what really matters. Next, let's talk about something that touches every part of life: your relationships. Habit 9. Holding on to relationships that drain you. Some relationships are a blessing. They lift us up, offer comfort, and remind us we are not alone. But others, they take more than they give. And when you're older, your time and energy are even more precious. Yet, out of habit or obligation, many women continue to hold on to people who quietly drain them. It could be a friend who always needs something but never listens, a relative who criticizes more than they connect, a social group that no longer feels like a safe or joyful space. And sometimes, the most exhausting connections are the ones we've had the longest, simply because we feel guilty walking away. But here's the truth: not all relationships are meant to last forever. Some were right for a season, but no longer align with who you are today. And that's okay. What's not okay is sacrificing your peace just to keep the peace. In Japanese culture, there's a deep respect for wa, the idea of harmony. But true harmony isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about creating balance, both inside and out. If a relationship constantly leaves you feeling anxious, unheard, or undervalued, it's not bringing harmony. It's disrupting it. Letting go doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as creating space. Fewer phone calls, shorter visits, more boundaries. You can still love someone and choose not to give them full access to your energy. Try this. Make a quiet list of the people in your life who leave you feeling energized, calm, and accepted. Then make another list: those who often leave you feeling tense, frustrated, or drained. Be honest. No one else needs to see it. This isn't about blame. It's about clarity. Once you see the patterns, you can start making gentle choices. More time with those who feed your spirit, less time with those who chip away at it. And remember, it's never too late to build new relationships. Age does not mean you're done making connections. In fact, many women find their most honest, nourishing friendships later in life, because now they finally know what they truly want. Protect your peace. Choose connection, not obligation. Love, without losing yourself in the process. Next, let's talk about the final toxic habit, and it may be the hardest, yet most freeing, one of all. Habit 10. Refusing to let go, even when it's time. Letting go is one of the hardest things we ever learn to do, and for many of us, it's something we were never really taught. We hold on to objects, to beliefs, to routines, and to identities we've outgrown, because they feel safe, because they remind us who we were, because we're afraid of what life might look like without them. But over time, this quiet refusal to release what no longer serves us becomes its own form of clutter, not in the home, but in the heart. This final toxic habit isn't about one object or one moment. It's about the deeper fear underneath it all, the fear that if we let go, we'll lose a part of ourselves. But in truth, letting go isn't about losing who you are. It's about rediscovering who you've always been, underneath all the layers. Japanese minimalism embraces a beautiful truth. Everything in life is impermanent. In their philosophy, wabi-sabi teaches us to appreciate the beauty of imperfection, of time passing, of things changing, and to see value not in holding on tightly, but in living gently. Sometimes the thing we need to let go of is a role: the always giving mother, the always busy wife, the never resting caretaker. Sometimes it's a dream that no longer fits, a version of the future that's no longer ours. And sometimes it's the pressure to be who we used to be, when who we are now deserves just as much love and care. Try this. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself, what have I been holding on to? That might be holding me back. It might be something physical. It might be a story. It might be an expectation you've placed on yourself for years. Write it down, sit with it, and when you're ready, gently, lovingly, let it go. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about moving forward with grace. It's about creating space for peace, for possibility, for whatever comes next. You've spent a lifetime carrying so much. Maybe now is the time to release. And with that, we've come to the end of our journey through 10 toxic habits. But don't worry, you're not expected to fix them all at once. In the next section, we'll gently walk through how to begin step by step. A gentle lesson: you are not what you own or what you let go. One of the most powerful truths in minimalism and in life is this: you are not your things. You are not defined by the items you've collected, the roles you've played, or even the routines you've followed for years. But for many women, especially those in later seasons of life, letting go can feel like losing part of your identity. That old casserole dish? It reminds you of family dinners. The overflowing drawer of cards? It holds memories of love. The full calendar? It made you feel needed. Here's what's often forgotten. Value doesn't come from holding on. It comes from knowing what's worth holding. And the deeper value is already within you. Your wisdom, your presence, your stories, those aren't going anywhere. Letting go is not just about clearing space. It's about reclaiming ownership of your energy, your peace, your direction. When you release the objects, obligations, and expectations that no longer fit, you don't become less of yourself. You become more visible, more free, more you. And perhaps the most beautiful part? You give yourself room to receive, more calm, more meaning, more connection, the kind that isn't tangled up in stuff, but rooted in being present with what truly matters. So be proud of what you release. It is a sign of strength, not loss. You are allowed to evolve, to change, to live lighter. Because in the end, the most valuable thing in your home is you. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath and let yourself feel proud. Not because you've changed everything in one day, but because you've shown up. You've taken the first step toward a lighter, freer life. The truth is, we all carry things we don't need anymore. Habits, fears, objects, expectations. But once we begin to let go, even just a little, something incredible happens. We remember who we really are underneath all the shoulds and musts. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is permission to live gently, to choose peace, to take care of yourself with the same love you've given to others for so long. So choose just one thing from today's journey. One toxic habit to release. One drawer to clear. One no to say with grace. And let that small shift open the door to something much bigger. Your own clarity, joy, and freedom. Because you deserve a life that feels like yours. Calm, clear, and full of meaning. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video spoke to you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. What's one habit you're ready to quit, starting today? And remember, simplicity isn't about having less. It's about making space for what matters most. Take good care. I'll see you in the next video.